11-year-old girl arrives at the hospital with a baby, but what she reveals leaves everyone speechless. An 11-year-old girl walks through the hospital doors holding a baby in her arms. Her steps are steady, but her expression is a puzzle, a mix of unexpected bravery and vulnerability. Those who see her cannot look away, but it's what she says next that transforms this moment into something unforgettable. "I had to save him." Her trembling voice echoes through the halls. Now imagine you're in a place where the unexpected happens every day, yet nothing could have prepared the healthcare workers for this scene. Who is this girl? Where did this baby come from? And what is she about to reveal? This story isn't just a real-life drama. It's a life lesson that will profoundly move you. If you think you've heard inspiring stories before, wait until you understand what happened that day. A heroic action and a revealed secret will show that behind the mystery lies a surprising truth capable of warming even the coldest hearts. You'll only grasp the magnitude of this story if you follow it to the very end. It was a quiet late afternoon at the hospital. The sound of nurses' hurried footsteps and the continuous beeping of monitors echoing through the hallways. But this calm was shattered by the unexpected entrance of an 11-year-old girl holding a baby. The scene immediately drew attention. A child so young, carrying something as fragile as life itself. The baby, wrapped in a worn blanket, appeared calm, but the girl's gaze revealed a whirlwind of emotions: fear, unexpected courage, and a mystery no one could decipher. All eyes turned to her as she walked to the reception desk. The staff hesitated before asking anything, as if they could feel the weight of the situation. When they finally questioned her, she responded directly yet enigmatically, "I had to bring him here. There was no one else." The simplicity of her words, coupled with her resolute tone, left everyone frozen. Who was she? And how did she end up in such an extraordinary situation? Doctors and nurses quickly gathered around, each trying to understand what was happening. The contrast between the girl's fragility and the immense responsibility she carried in her arms was striking. "Who is this baby?" a doctor asked, trying to hide the urgency in her voice. But the girl seemed reluctant to speak, looking around as though searching for the right words or perhaps the courage to say something more. Meanwhile, the hospital became a stage for suspense. Every detail told part of the story: the faded blanket, the girl's simple clothing, and the baby's fixed gaze on the ceiling, seemingly oblivious to the drama surrounding him. People began whispering, each forming their own theories about what was happening, but none compared to the shock of what the girl was about to reveal. Finally, after a few seconds of silence that felt like an eternity, she took a deep breath and said something that made the air feel heavy. "I found him alone, and no one else would help." Her words, laden with a surprising truth, raised more questions than answers. Everyone wanted to know where she had found him, why she was there alone, and above all, how she had decided to act with such courage. The girl seemed torn between keeping a secret and trusting the people around her. Every time a doctor or nurse asked a question, she hesitated, as though carefully choosing what she could or could not reveal. "I promised to take care of him," she finally said, her eyes filled with determination. It was impossible not to feel compassion for her, but what no one knew was that this story was just beginning. Tension grew as doctors and nurses tried to get answers from the girl. Her short, enigmatic replies only fueled the mystery. "I did what needed to be done," she said, avoiding eye contact like someone guarding a secret they didn't want or couldn't share. Every attempt to understand her story hit an invisible wall, and the atmosphere in the hospital grew heavier by the minute. The staff noticed that the baby was healthy, but there was something peculiar. He wore a small, homemade bracelet with unknown initials that didn't match anyone registered in the hospital system. This seemingly insignificant object became a central piece in solving the puzzle. "Who put this on him, and why?" a nurse asked, trying to read the girl's closed expression. Meanwhile, the girl remained restless, avoiding direct questions. "I just did what I had to do," she repeated like a broken record. However, in a moment of unguardedness, she let slip something that took everyone by surprise. "He's not from here." The phrase instantly stirred speculation among the onlookers. It wasn't just the baby who was a mystery, but the girl herself. Amid the confusion, theories began to emerge. Some imagined she was protecting someone, while others believed she might be hiding something much bigger. To heighten the suspense, the girl clutched a small envelope in her coat pocket, but refused to hand it over. Apparently that piece of paper had a direct connection to the baby, but she seemed reluctant to reveal its contents. At this point, one of the doctors, trying to gain her trust, adopted a gentler approach. "We're here to help, but we need to understand what's happening," he said. The girl looked directly at him, her eyes brimming with unshed tears, but she didn't respond. It was clear she was trying to protect someone or something, but who or what? In the meantime, images of the girl's arrival began circulating on social media, recorded by other patients at the hospital. The case quickly earned the nickname "The Mysterious Girl and the Abandoned Baby," drawing local attention. The already tense hospital atmosphere became even more chaotic when journalists showed up, eager to uncover the truth. Still, the girl stood firm, silent and determined. Finally, after hours of attempts, she murmured something that changed everything. "You wouldn't understand." This seemingly simple phrase carried enormous weight. It indicated that what she knew went beyond what anyone could imagine. Yet everyone knew the moment of revelation was near. After hours of silence and suspicious glances, the girl finally decided to speak. With a trembling voice, she began her story. "I found him in a place no one should ever be," she said, as tears streamed down her face. She revealed that the baby had been abandoned in a derelict building, wrapped in rags, exposed to the cold and danger. The unexpected courage that led her there was something no one expected from someone so young. The entire hospital was shocked by the clarity of her narrative and the dangers she had faced alone. Doctors and nurses listened intently as she explained the details. The girl recounted that upon hearing cries coming from the building while passing by, she decided to investigate despite her fear. "I knew something was wrong," she said. She found the baby in a dark corner, and despite her racing heart, she picked him up and ran to the hospital. With each word, her determination grew more evident, and the staff couldn't believe the maturity and sense of justice she displayed. When they asked about the envelope she was carrying, the girl finally handed it over. Inside was a simple note with few words. "Take care of him. I can't." It was a desperate letter from a mother who seemingly left the baby there, hoping someone like this girl would find him. The room fell into a heavy silence, followed by a mix of admiration and sadness. Compassion for her situation and the baby's plight united everyone in a moment of deep reflection. The revelation prompted an immediate reaction. Doctors, nurses, and even patients began mobilizing resources to help the baby, while the girl received words of encouragement and support. Her story was more than just a real-life drama. It was a life lesson showing how empathy and courage can transform situations of complete helplessness. But what was most impressive was realizing that despite her young age, this girl had become a true heroine, proving that strength doesn't just come from the body, but from the heart. The story of this 11-year-old girl and the abandoned baby is one of those that makes us rethink how we see the world. Her unexpected bravery and the compassion she showed in such a delicate moment are proof that acts of kindness have no age or limits. She not only saved a life, but also showed us that true heroism comes from the decisions we make even when we're afraid. In the end, her actions inspired everyone around her, creating a wave of solidarity that made all the difference. This story is more than touching. It teaches us that each of us can do something extraordinary, even in difficult situations. So, I ask you, how many times have you hesitated to help someone because you thought you couldn't? Maybe now is the time to act, to make a difference, no matter how small it seems. If this story touched you, share it with others and show that the world can still be transformed by small acts of courage and empathy.